Three, two.
Good afternoon, I'm Charlie LeDuff, and welcome to the No BS News Hour. The world-renowned Oakland Hills Country Club burned to the ground Thursday morning, the fire apparently starting in the attic above the main clubhouse. The 100-year-old club has hosted 6 U.S. Opens, 3 PGA Championships, and a Ryder Cup. Another Michigan jewel gone. Members vow to rebuild. And now for some ridiculous fire news. A crew of Detroit firefighters went to a bar last Friday night in neighboring Melvindale, 3 miles away. It was all-you-could-eat fish night. The problem is, they took the fire engine. The on-duty crew from Engine 48 parked on a busy street out front of the bar where parking's not allowed. A citizen called 911 to report the firefighters drinking. The cops showed up. Then the chief of department showed up. "We've got a winner," the chief is said to have uttered after getting a whiff of the inebriated engine operator who blew a .12.
Nothing to see here.
The ranking officer tested non-negative for drugs. Whatever that means. He's scheduled for a second test. The episode comes in the wake of the inebriated fire captain last year who launched his department vehicle airborne and came to a rest dangling over a highway overpass. And a drunk firefighter, fresh from a party at the firehouse, who, responding to an emergency call, smashed a neighbor's car. Mayor Mike Duggan of Detroit has promised mental health help for the troubled firefighters and cops more than a year ago. But he's yet to deliver on that promise. What else is new? Bottoms up! The Michigan Democrats are circulating a dossier on ex-police chief James E. Craig, the presumptive frontrunner for the Republican nomination for governor. It seems that while he was chief of police, Craig received special treatment from his officers. Run sheets obtained by the Democrats and given to any reporter who would take them shows that cops went to Craig's East Side home 44 times in the span of a year and a half. Those runs were marked as special attention. Craig told the Detroit News that this was a, quote, pathetic smear campaign, unquote, by the Democrats. It was. Who don't understand basic police procedures. They don't. The chief explained that officers who just happened to be in his neighborhood patrolling by would stop by the house if things were slow. The problem with that is no officer would simply be in Craig's neighborhood by chance. You see, the chief lives in a gated community with a security booth located on an isolated slip on the Detroit River, far away from the hubbub of the Motor City neighborhoods. Nevertheless, cops often just happen to be in the neighborhood if Craig is to be believed. Once they came by 7 times in a single day. Another time they showed up twice around midnight. Now, what is located by Craig's Seaside Shangri-La is Sinbad's waterfront restaurant and marina. It's a favorite drinking hole of his honor. In fact, Craig can still be found there on many evenings holding court at the far edge of the rail. Let's hope he calls Uber. And finally, Michigan has ended its mask advisory for all public settings, including schools, Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced Wednesday. This comes after Madam Governor was spotted at a Saginaw event this week without a mask. And after a who's who of celebrities and superstars were seen partying up at the Super Bowl with naked faces. Still, local school districts will have the ultimate choice in Michigan to drop mask mandates in the public schools, thus pushing the COVID culture wars out of sight. The state health department still recommends universal masking in long-term care facilities and nursing homes, unless, of course, you're dead. If you're dead, you'll be lucky to be counted. And that's your news. I'm Charlie LeDuff.
my, let's just do breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
No bullshit.
What is
What?
that beer? What is that beer?
That is Two-Hearted Ale.
Is that what you gave me at your house that
Yeah,
time?
yeah.
Wow.
Good stuff, right?
Well, I slammed it real quick before I knew what the hell it was and started.
Yeah, they're 7%, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. Then
I know you drink the Bud Lights.
Yeah, well, no, Bush Light.
That's like 2 Bush Lights
Right.
distilled into one bottle.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Get with it.
Well, I can't afford that.
Not on a battalion chief's salary.
That's why we go look for deals.
That's Mike Nevin, Battalion Chief, Detroit Fire Department. Join us to make sense of Oakland Hills and all-you-can-eat fish jaunts in the company's fire engine to another city. Now, why is it, Mark and Karen, our news program looks so much different than all other local news programs?
Because you do work.
Because it's real.
Yeah.
It's real and it's raw. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, and guess what?
What?
We're in the top 200 news podcasts in America.
Because you do good work, man.
In Apple's rankings. That's like, how many is in that? 700,000?
Oh, well, there's 2.5 million podcasts overall, so
So, yeah, we're doing pretty good.
I would say so, yeah. Well done.
Because not
Congratulations.
afraid. It's factual, it's correct,
Well, you do the work.
and we got the tastemakers and the people that know. Because, you know what? Guess what else we're going to do? We got an update, some breaking news on Assam Bazi, our Tubby terrorist watch list member who was apprehended on the Texas border in November, was allowed for some reason to come to Dearborn, and we don't know where he is. There's movement in Washington. That's right. That's right. And nobody doing this. Why is nobody doing this?
I have no idea.
Why are they
I haven't
doing
seen
it
that-
out of Washington? Nobody doing it
I
locally.
haven't seen that story anywhere but here.
Except George Hunter, Detroit.
Oh, that's right.
News.
Yeah. Well, that's because he was here.
Good old George. All right. That and is Ford gonna bust itself in two, take its electric vehicles, and get the fuck on? Are they leaving Michigan? Are they leaving Detroit? Are we not going to be the headquarters?
It's a great question.
We got this new train station. They said they were going to move there. Everybody remembers that 4 years ago. Now we got some movement, and the guy that's going to help us make sense of it is Eric Starkman. Everybody knows Eric, friend of the show, Los Angeles-based business writer and columnist, formerly Detroit News, whose work can be seen at DeadlineDetroit.com and, what is it, Starkman Confidential or something, Eric?
Parkman approved.
Starkman approved. It's the shit.
Cool.
Yeah, you did
And-
great work on Beaumont.
Yeah, we
Still
got-
doing great work
Oh,
on the
he's-
Beaumont
he's-
story.
Out of LA now.
Yeah, once again, a story you don't see here.
Yeah. All right, so that's what we're going to do. But first, a message from our underwriters. Who's our first underwriter?
I don't know. You tell me.
American Coney Island, Detroit's oldest family-run restaurant and birthplace of the famous Detroit Coney dog, chili, mustard, and Vidalia onions. How many times I got to tell you? Downtown at the corner of Lafayette and Michigan Avenue. Can't miss it. The red, white, and blue building, open regular hours now. Unless
guess-
they don't feel like being open.
I guess I should have eaten this.
Chili cheese fries.
Oh, now they're falling apart. I should.
He's going to eat them.
When she gave it to me right away.
Oh, you know it's
Mark,
coming?
you will never make it into Speedo like that. That's not the route.
That's not my goal.
Oh, he'll make it in a Speedo.
You're right, Mike.
Yeah, goddamn right he'll make it into a Speedo.
Can you imagine?
Just pack it in there, baby.
You might not like what you see, Karen,
That's
but
right.
I can get in there.
That's right.
They make them all sizes. Don't body shame me.
Exactly.
Well, shit. We set him down in Miami with you. He'd come back with a tan, and we call him a deep fried mushroom.
Or Samoan.
Biggest people in the world. Okay. By the way,
By the way.
the special Pollock sandwich will now be available at the American Coney Island beginning Lent.
What's that?
Oh,
Yep.
Pollock is Pacific cod. It's the finest eating fish in the world.
Darn.
Yeah, it's delicious. So, or remember, you can always get a Coney kit, dozen dogs, all the fixings right to your door. Go to AmericanConeyIsland.com. One more?
Yes.
Like Joe Rogan?
Well, let's get that word out there that fish sandwich is going to hit because you never, I mean,
Well, you're going to see all the fire trucks.
Firefighting.
But, which would be good because American Coney Island is located in downtown Detroit. So if you're going to go out for lunch in the Detroit fire truck and have a few pops, It's best to be in Detroit. So nobody's really asking questions.
Will they get a ticket like the police officers, though, Charlie, if they park?
You know, the driver will stay with the rig, so the rig will be running, so he could move it. He'll get warned, and then they'll move it.
So they do warn you, move it?
Well, I believe they would. They'd roll up behind you, and if the rig is idling.
See, I don't get that. I mean, what I don't like. You guys are the law and order and public safety. I think you parking meter telling.
This is a new thing. I just heard it from you that they were ticketing the police cars and stuff.
The undercover dudes. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
That's stupid.
I mean, come on, man.
And then, well, you got to pay it. Take it in and go. Hey, I'm a cop.
Well, I mean, are they writing up? I mean, marked cars?
Hey, dude. Let me get the underwriters taken care of here.
Oh, my man, sorry.
You should have just told me. I could have taken the day
You
off.
invited me, man. You invited me. You know how this goes.
Karen, tell him
Tell him what?
that he's a racist.
Oh,
Holy, wow.
why? He didn't do anything.
Just cause nothing gets a white guy freaked out when a black chick calls him a racist for no apparent reason.
Bother me.
I would never. If I said that, I'd have to have just cause. I've had no issue with Mike for as long as I've known him, so he gets a pass.
I want Karen back at City Hall. Justice, the right way, knowing what you're doing.
Honest
nice.
answers.
That would be nice.
Everybody goes to Karen is the what would you call it? That's a lot of words. I want to pick the right word, Karen. You're the spine and the heart of what we are. I really believe that.
Well, thank you, Charlie. I appreciate. I feel like I'm just decoration. You guys are the heart and the liver and the bowels of what happens
I'm the
here.
balls. Yeah. I'm the anus.
You're the beautiful face, and Mark's the anus, the mushroom anus. What's going on with this program?
I don't know.
I'll tell you. If you want to get that body taken care of,
Yes.
all right, and you don't know what to do, call ADR. Right? They get it done on right. They get it done right.
I'll call anyone at this point.
On time and on budget. I don't know if they do that. But if you're, Barry Ellentuck, good friend of the show, call him at 248-318-9424. He specializes in construction projects, interfacing with the government, law enforcement, fire, right? Getting those floors put in at the firehouse that never got put in, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But, now that he's attached to this show, he'll get cuckoos calling him, and he'll return your call.
Good, well.
Because he's a decent human being. He'll give you the time of day and actually try to help you a little bit. But really, it's about processes, permitting, construction, deconstruction, property management, ethical, honest, smart, discreet. Barry Ellentuck for a free consultation, 248-318-9424. What up, dope, Barry? All right, we'll save these other ones, these underwriters, because let's get to it, Mike. Let's just real quick, fire expertise now, a little science. And don't go on, but we pretty much completely lost a crown jewel in Michigan, which is the Oakland Hills Country Club. Right?
Correct. Yes.
Wooden with the lumicide, almost a total loss, burn to the ground. You watched it. You're in the community. You make phone calls. You used to be president of the fire union. What went wrong there?
I know people that were on the scene that I spoke to, and
Whoa. Hold on now.
there were a
Because
number of.
for the rich people, they got a lot of memories here. I never been in it.
This is tragic.
I used to live by the club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the cops told me to move my van.
It's a tragic loss for the state and for. I'm not a golfer, but for the is this a historical site? I mean, it's
Well, you got a face of a gopher. I tell you that right now.
Well, it's because hockey player.
Oh, golfer. Oh,
golfer. What happened?
I want you to kill every golfer on the course.
What about the potato nose thing? And but no, the poor guys there. They rolled up and they.
First of all, it was a plumbing fire. You found out?
I'm not going to say anything other than the fact that the fire started. There was smoke in the building. The guys went in. They started looking for the seat of the fire, and when they did find the fire, it had gotten up and over their heads. There had been numerous construction jobs in the building where the firewalls in the attic were taken down, and they put holes in them to get through, and it had crawled across the attic, and it was basically over their heads.
So it went up through the wall.
It went up the wall and across the top, and that's dangerous because
Inside the wall or outside the wall?
inside.
So nobody saw it when they first responded.
The
Probably.
fire's contained. It's burning. It's smoldering, but it's a live fire.
Right.
And as that fire seeks oxygen, it starts to run. Fire will run. It's going to find air.
Right.
They're popping holes and stuff like that, and they're with pike poles looking for the fire, and the fire started to crawl. That's a very old building, a lot of nooks and crannies. A fire like that in Detroit, we would have called for extra help immediately. We would have started stretching, line in there. I'm not going to speak against these guys over there.
You're not doing
I'm just
that.
going to say that
Science of fire.
right. They had a lot against them. They had horrible weather. They had high winds. These guys were facing a tremendous battle as they walked in there, no doubt about it.
Now let me ask you this, because I've watched a lot of fires. I've been out on dozens of fires with you. I've watched blocks burn.
Yep.
What I notice about Detroit fire is you attack it from the inside, where it's sort of like, if everybody out there, think about a campfire. Like, you're not spraying the hose across the top of it. If you want to put the fire out, you got to get the embers. So you guys get criticized for being cowboys, but you put out a lot of fires.
We go right in.
Yeah, you go right in and you attack the source of it. And then if you notice any of these fire skeletons in Detroit, you'll see a hole in the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're doing is trying to suppress it at its source, get it to run, right?
Yes.
Straight up.
Yep.
And then you got that aerial ladder out there with water, and that's how you put it out.
Yeah, I believe they were on the, whether they were on the roof or not, what we do in Detroit, and I don't want to say anything that they did at this fire at all.
We'll
But
be out of
what we
bounds
do
at
is-
this point.
But
yeah.
we ventilate. There's a certain way to ventilate a fire to get that fire to run to the air and contain that fire. You put a hole in a roof, let's say in a dwelling, that fire is going to find that hole, start sucking that air, and it's going to go to that area.
So it works just like a chimney at your house.
Correct.
Right? It wants to go straight up where, right?
Yeah.
Even if you put water out, it still wants to run to the hole.
Even if it's crawling across the attic or crawling across an area looking for, it's like a guy in the desert looking for water, the fire. And once you find that water, that's where you go.
Okay. So our condolence to all you that love the place and all your memories, rebuild quickly and invite me once. I'd love to see it. Now, speaking of water, let's talk about a watering hole. Big news to me, Engine 48, their main responsibility in Detroit is to look after the Marathon Chemical Plant, right? That's the
biggest facility in that area, Marathon Oil, but they've got that whole southwest corner themselves down near Fort Street and all them streets down there. They've been isolated for years. They're down there by themselves for a long time.
Yeah.
Marathon's got their own fire stuff set up, their own fire, situation set up, blah, blah, blah. But yes.
So they decided you take a 3-mile drive to go get some fish in a neighboring suburb, right? All you can eat fish. They bring the Detroit fire engine and park it out front of the bar. A 911 call gets made. There's some reports of drinking and, lipping off to each other, civilians and the firefighters. The Melvindale police come. They don't see any alcohol. Then the chief comes. He smells the alcohol. They air these guys out. Maybe about an hour and a half later, they get tested. The operator of the fire engine's blowing a .12. What's going on in the apartment? I've heard of firefighters drinking a beer or two. I never heard of the fire engine operator drinking and driving to another community.
Well, I'm not going to speak specifically on this incident.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
That's
at all.
Well, okay. Look, ground rules. This is so the public knows why I'm talking to you. I want to know culturally bigger what's going on with the leadership in the department and from City Hall.
Well, they are turning a deaf ear to counseling, and this is counseling.
They promised it last year.
They promised it years ago. A health and wellness program, counseling, racial diversity training. We've got a lot of young guys coming in from outside the city that don't even know a lot of the streets. We are a very young department. When I was union president, we hired some 400 kids. The department's very young.
Like early 20s.
Yeah, they're young, and we're moving a lot of the.
So like half of the guys wearing a uniform in the Detroit Fire Department. God bless you, respect. Half of them are really young, like in their 20s.
They're very young guys.
It's almost like the department half turned over.
The department's more than half turned over. And a lot of these young personnel with under 8, 9, 10 years are going to be in charge of these apparatus. They're moving a lot of the older guys out for pre-bankruptcy pension issues and whatnot. The police have made efforts to maintain some of these older people because their department's young as well. Chief Craig, I know you mentioned him before. We started. He made tremendous efforts to keep and retain some of his older members because whether you want to believe it or not, we're like big brother and daddy, and we're going to guide these guys until they get enough time to know what's right and what's wrong.
So, Karen,
Yeah.
again, when we were going through all that bankruptcy, that was, de facto deputy mayor right there. What is going on with the culture of it? Because in the last couple of years, a party at the firehouse, and then you go smash a neighbor's car with the fire truck. You got the captain going airborne and almost into the freeway.
I want to speak on that for a second too.
Okay.
And that incident there, as bad as it was, I wish more people that were supposed to defend that member would have spoke up.
The union.
Well, I'm not going to say that, but that
just did.
that area where that battalion chief went off the road was under construction due to Wayne State. It was poorly lit, and the GPS took him right off that frickin' street.
Yeah, but I know what was lit.
Well,
That was the captain himself. No excuse.
and
Mike, we need some help for the guys.
yes, we do.
But it was promised a year ago.
Well, we've got I did a movie called Florian's Nights. It's out right now about
You were
PTSD.
here.
We did the whole Florian's Nights thing, and this goes back 3-4 years ago when Pan came in from Vancouver. They did Detroit, New York, Toronto, and where guys they need counseling, they need diversification training,
They need some leadership.
yes,
Look, it used to be this. There are empty positions at the Detroit Fire Department. That used to be like waiting list, right?
correct.
That used to be like, that was a coveted job. Now, you can't even fill the positions they have.
Well, public safety took a beating, and I'll tell you what, it just don't pay.
That's what we're talking about here now.
I mean, right now, after the bankruptcy, especially in Detroit, anyone with half a brain looks at that and says, "I'm going to go do that for that." It just, and then you've got the.
Mike, don't you think that the message was sent, when the officers and the law enforcement, first responders, when their needs, their pensions, their health care was put on the back burner to artwork and, other cultural things here in this city? Don't you think it sent a message that, you guys really aren't that important?
That was the greatest insult to a guy like me with 35 years, that they went after and salvaged things like that when they could have. Look, if you're broke in my house, you're not getting the Nike Air Jordans, or you're not getting the Beamer. Okay, if you can't afford certain things, you dump them, you liquidate them. Like in a bankruptcy, when you're bankrupt, the bankrupt judge takes things from you, moves things around. But yet we saved certain jewels that I can't go see. I can't even get into the museum. Okay, but yet that was saved, and you took my health care, you cut my pension, they decimated the city worker. And there have been some clawbacks, there have been some clawbacks. But
it hasn't, look, your wages haven't even kept pace with inflation. When it's all said and done, it's a loser. I'm looking at a skyscraper. I'm looking at a hockey arena. I'm looking at an auto factory. I'm looking at a train station. I'm looking at so much shit.
Right.
That could plug holes in this dike. I'm looking at $840 million that Biden sent.
And what's happening with the younger guys on the job now is due to the fact that some of the older guys are leaving, and there's been, guys that are just not happy with what they're going out the door with. They're working these kids to death on this overtime. And
36-hour shifts.
You can only take so much.
Answer me.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
So it's a 24-hour shift.
Plus 12.
Since they don't have the manpower, it's mandated that you do another 12 in the firehouse.
In some cases.
And Detroit is still the busiest department.
So they're blowing the budget. They're blowing the budget in overtime. They're working these kids to death. You got to have a break mentally from this stuff. These are young guys that 5, 6, 7 years on the job. They're not going to make it a full career without tweaking out here. It's just, you're getting yo-yoed too much mentally. They don't see it and really know it or feel it themselves. But in Detroit, we are a very unique situation right now. And, we're getting ready. They need to retain some of the older guys because we're babysitters. Settle these guys down. We need to get some training in here. We need to get some not bullshit.
We've been talking about this for the longest too.
It's
we
not-
know
yeah.
that we talk about that for police officers. We talk about that for firefighters. The need for mental health support, assistance. It's only when there's an outburst of some sort that the conversation rears its head again.
Right.
But the provision never makes it to those who need it.
And that's why we took the opportunity. Sorry, guys, at 48, I won't be up your ass. It was an opportunity to take a look at something again, very dear to my heart. If you look at 48, at the fucking chemical factory, you've got one fire engine. There's no ladder truck. We were just talking about Oakland Hills and having the aerial truck spray water from the top. If, God forbid, something went up at the plant, you absolutely need that.
Yes.
I did some looking. The closest ladder unit is 3 fucking miles away.
And it may be busy.
Yeah, it might be in service.
That's a busy company.
Okay, Detroit, that's what you got. That's Mike. That's beautiful. Now let's do this. Let's move. So what do we need? We need better salary. We need some health care. We need to retain the older guys, and we need a way to maintain the infrastructure, the equipment. And I don't see a grand plan.
Look we need field generals to run the department. We need people that understand the department, that know what these guys need. We need people that aren't politicians to run the department. We need we need some real soldiers to take over the department, work with the mayor's office, get the budget allocated properly, get the manpower, and get the rigs placed properly, and stop this bullshit.
Yeah, no more bullshit, which brings the mayor's office. Okay, Karen, Mark,
Yes.
I want your take on this.
Okay.
I need to talk to the fire commissioner, Chuck Sims. Need to talk to him.
Who's a great guy.
What's good? I know the guy.
Yeah, Chuck's good.
Yeah, Chuck's real people. I need to talk to you. What's going on? Okay. He says, starts to talk to me. I said, call you back. Never does. And then I get, put it in writing, and I'll respond accordingly. I said, put it in.
Well, that's coming from above.
Okay.
Yep.
Then, okay, look, man, it's about ready to come. The cop charged with raping a female subordinate cop and his work record. It's ready. Okay, now I need official explanation. I get from the head of professional standards, from the public information officer, and the chief himself, respond in writing and will reply in writing. That is, and there'll be no interview on tape.
Yeah, it's them trying to control the story, trying to
You
control
got
the
two
narrative.
things going, Charlie. You've got two things. One, you have to remember that not everybody is comfortable coming to you because they know that you've done your homework and there's nothing that they can be asked that you don't already have the answer to. So there's some apprehension there, making sure there are no missteps. The other side of this that is consistent with this administration is that this is coming from the top. This isn't the chief. This isn't the fire. This is coming from the mayor's office. There is a very concerted effort since day one to control the narrative. And this is how that is done. There's no autonomy for them to determine whether or not they are comfortable and confident in delivering factual information that the residents are entitled to know. Because the mayor's office is saying, well, let me take that back. The mayor is saying, no, that's not how this is happening. And so it's not happening.
The mayor, wise guy, said, last time I sat down with him, he said, let me handle this. He's a professional media guy. He walked himself into a grand jury.
Yes, he did.
Right? Yeah. All right. Look, here's what I say. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think I would give Trump questions to pre-approve? Do you think I would be one of them bozos at the Washington press corps where Biden goes, I was told to call on her first? No fucking way. Number one, that's fake news. Yep. That is scripted television drama. Yep. Right? I will do what a human being and an ethical journalist is supposed to do, which is I would like to talk about this cop, his work record, why he's still working, right? What did you know? When did you know it? Get ready. Look at his file.
You'll be fair, too.
Of course I'll be fair.
Yeah. But it eliminates any opportunity of follow-up questions, and that's
what the in writing is.
Exactly, but that's where the answers that really need to be found are found. and follow-up questions.
This is what happened with the governor, too. Remember, for the press conference, the questions have to be submitted. First of all, I would never, ever have anyone participate in an interview where the interviewer, the reporter, the journalist had questions. Like, that's not an interview. I mean, that's just not an interview.
Of course, when Karen was basically, pointing Mayor Dave Bing in the right direction, you know what I mean?
Bringing things back to post-traumatic stress disorder.
Wait, no, hold on, no.
In press conferences.
I'm in the middle of something.
I know you are. I'm trying to derail you.
Watch this. See, God, get your own.
You do it to me.
200 podcast.
We do this all the time.
It's my show. Of course, when Karen was pointing the mayor in the direction of Dave, right? And he did the state of the city, everybody from the TV stations was going to get 5 minutes, right? And Fox 2 was going to send me, and they're like, no, not him. To which I give a lot of credit to Kevin Roseborough over there. He goes, okay, then not anybody.
Good.
And that's the way it should be. Now, you were saying.
We had a press conference, major press conference. The International Firefighters president flew in from D.C. Our union president sat there and said, we have a no tolerance. And the mayor sat there.
This was a year ago when the captain went airborne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to have this the Boston program and the Boston, Well, what the fuck is it?
What a bizarre press conference it was. It was like
they blamed us.
8 guys
they sat there and blamed
12
us.
12 feet apart, talking about, it's PTSD from COVID, and we're getting a handle on this.
Horseshit. Guys can't pay their bills.
And they were pre-fabricated questions.
We've got a young department that's so many of the older guys are leaving and giving up that this department will be in a frickin' tailspin in the next couple of years. You're going to have too many young guys out there, and that's when the problems are going to start. And this is what you see in the suburbs. This is when you see an officer that's had his 5th run of the day lose it and shoot somebody or whatnot. Too much, too young, not enough guidance out there. I'm sorry, public safety is a father, son, brother, sister, mother. Look, you mentor these people into the job.
Okay, see, you heard it. I don't want you to... See, I'm teaching Mike. We go way back. You made a great point, and I think everybody heard it. We're going to have issues if you don't give two shits about this department and stop squeezing it dry and every ounce of soul and energy. It's a really serious deal. I'm not here to tear down these departments. I'm not. I'm here to help you.
Well,
you've done more.
Nobody will. No, you see,
you've done more to help us in Detroit. In public safety than anybody out there. There's a few other people in the media that's helped, but I'm here to. I'm not the guy that's supposed to be defending my firefighters right now. Where the hell's the guy that replaced me?
Well, you're the fucking chief, dude. So that's how that goes.
Well, I love my department. I love these guys. I'm sick of us getting our asses kicked in the press.
I want to say this. So when I got a call, it's a Democratic town. Why don't you pick out some Republicans? Because there aren't any around here, and I do. We kick them right in the ass. Right in the ass. But
actually, most of the firemen and policemen are Republicans.
Note to self.
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. This isn't about the party, though, Charlie. That's the thing. It's not Democratic. It's not
Republican. No, it really isn't.
I say this, no, it's not, and it shouldn't be. I mean, I don't care if I have an emergency. I don't care about somebody's political party affiliation. I want to make sure that they are trained, that they're committed, they're equipped, and that they are mentally and physically prepared to respond to that emergency, that they're compensated properly, and that they're comfortable with where they are in the position that they hold in the city.
Karen,
that's so funny.
You're 100% correct. Smoke and fire does not discriminate. Doesn't matter who's coming as long as they do the job right, medically and fire-wise. The thing is, they're young. They're phenomenal firefighters. They're phenomenal medical personnel. It's just too much. It's too much yo-yo back and forth. They go home. They've got stress with their bills. Look at it. We're broken right now.
Let's go get a cocktail and a couple of pieces of fish.
We've taken our rigs places and in and out, but listen.
What?
Go ahead. He just flipped me to bird and muted me.
But I want the point to be made because you mentioned that press conference and Duggan's promise that nothing has been
done. Well, the union was there too. The International Union.
Come on, man. Let's not get why are you trying to take us down into a place that we can't defend? You can't do that in journalism, bro. You can't do.
I'm just asking a question.
I know,
I
but
want it to be known.
I'm trying to train you to be for real here. Like, this ain't Drew's show. We're doing, well, listen to me.
I'm being for real.
Listen to me. We're fucking with the fire.
Mm-hmm.
So when you ask us to say nothing's been done, that's a ridiculous question because always something.
Not enough has been done, clearly.
Thank you, man.
Not enough.
It's the way we use allegedly.
Semantics.
No, but it's really important.
I understand that.
My man.
But I want it to be known, there was a lot of promises. There's this big press conference, and very little seems to
They
have
have
been
not been
accomplished.
kept.
Yeah.
And when this story broke, and the mayor's puppet master is standing next to the commissioner, feeding him his lines, tell him about the program. Tell him about the program. That thing's just around the corner. It's just around the corner. Bullshit. Now, this is funny that you say this because we at the No Bullshit News Hour are introducing a new segment right now. Hit it.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Oh, the breaking news one?
Yeah. Introducing a new segment. We at the No Bullshit News Hour editorial board.
Karen's
Oh, Karen, you missed the meeting? All right, I wrote
Yes, I
it.
did, but
It's a
I'm
boardable.
noticing you taking off your shirt, so I'm trying to figure out what's coming up next. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Man, Speedos, Charlie taking his shirt off. Where's your mind today?
I'm just paying
Where
attention.
it should be, right here. All right, so I was trying
The editorial board.
to prep the show last night, and I came up with this, and this is what I wanted. We at the No Bullshit News Hour. Probably you too, Mike. I suppose I was raised a working class blue collar Democrat. I say I suppose because I was a kid and I don't really know my parents' thinking. I just know where and how and with whom I came up with. But then the private school kids hijacked the party. Now it seems to me the donkeys are little more than Republicans. Divisive, double talking, entitled, and get yours at all costs. What I'm looking for, and many of us, I believe, are looking for, are peace and prosperity, not empty promises, voodoo economics, creeping poverty, and stale talking points. I can't tell the difference between the parties anymore. And that's the way it is.
I'll second that. I approve that board.
Pretty true.
Yeah.
I just keep standing in the same ground, Karen. And when I'm trying to get an answer about a guy in a terror watch list, or I'm trying to get an answer about the firefighters' well-being, or, we have one bad cop here, what's he doing on? I'm just standing my ground, and I'm watching the talking points in these parties moving. If everybody's a Democrat in Detroit and I got bad lieutenant on the job, how am I left of the Democrats when they won't call back?
But Charlie, this is the other thing too that kind of puts you out there a little bit. It's like you're like the thumb. Nobody else is demanding answers on these issues the way that they should be. And so it becomes easy to, compartmentalize and ostracize you because you're the one that's saying, hey, I've got information. I know this is, and I want an answer. Nobody else is saying that. Nobody else is demanding accountability in that space.
But I want to thank the listeners, seriously, because when you're hovering around 100,000 people tuning in weekly, there's something going right. And it's less to do with me than it does to do with you, Mike, and people like you and your sensibility out there. We're not going to bullshit you. We're not going to lie. We don't go to press conferences. I'd be driving down the highway, right? I'm listening to local news radio. Mayor Mike Duggan held a press conference today, and he said this. I got to put a program together to help these firefighters because, we really need to help them. And then that's all they do. It's like a direct line of propaganda, nobody asking anything or saying, hey, you said that last year.
Yeah, there's no answers.
But Charlie, let me say this too.
You can say anything you want, girlfriend.
In the history that I've been involved in and with this city, have I seen such a pass given to an elected official? The media has always questioned, challenged, every little thing. Now they're handed talking points in a press release and that becomes the story. I've never seen anything like it.
Why is that, though? That seems to be nationally.
Yeah.
I mean, look at.
I don't know, but it certainly is here.
Like
and it's
nationally.
unfortunate
It's like,
because,
okay.
to the disadvantage
are
of
people that
live here.
lazy?
Like, I know you hear each other talking, so have some fucking manners.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, now go ahead.
I just want to say that I think Chuck Sims, the new commissioner, is a great guy. I think he's inherited a tremendous mess. He's got a lot of work to do. Chuck was a hell of a fireman, and he knows the ins and outs of the job, and I hope he can.
I'll go on record.
He's got a hell of a mess.
He's an interim commissioner.
I hope he keeps it.
I think he's the right man for the job.
I do, without a doubt.
But now I'm already seeing like you don't even let the man speak.
Well, they're kind of, I don't know if they're nervous because, for whatever reason. But I tell you what, if Chuck can get cut loose, I think he can do a good job. But he's got there's a lot of political dangleberries he's got to
There you go, Chuck.
Having a good person that's not allowed to apply their expertise to their role is not a good person in that position because they're not allowed to be who they are capable of being. He can't do a good job if his hands are bound by the mayor's office.
He got the dream job and he can't let it go. But if they're not going to let you do the job, dude, what's the point of having it?
I hope he's allowed to do what he's supposed to do.
I ain't seen it.
He's got some dead wood under him too that need to go. We need some refreshing done, without a doubt. And our guys and gals are working their cans off.
Here's what else. Like here's like the media. You pick your side, you go with them, you don't question them, right? You got the liberal media, you got the conservative media, right? Sure. January 6th was a peaceful protest. Sure. Whitmer counted the nursing home dead correctly. No. The media, when you go along with them, what you did was you put your reputation with them. And when it gets found out to be wrong, you can't be wrong, can you? I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that disinformation, that's the new buzzword of ugliness, is being pushed by the political parties and the mainstream. That's what I see. So guess what? Get ready for it. There's new, binding, pointed, you're in the corner, governor, nursing home information is coming. Weasel out of it. And I'm collecting all the stories y'all wrote about this. And you're going to answer. You're going to do the right thing and backtrack. That's what you're going to have to do. You were wrong.
Everyone's so scared to be wrong.
So in order for me, we're kind of done with the fire stuff probably, and I don't want to keep blabbing and sitting here, but I just want to make one last point.
Okay.
Listen, the Detroit firefighters and EMS are working their tails off.
Absolutely.
And they're boo-boos that happen, and they're boo-boos that can be fixed. No, we're not... We're giving our heart and souls out there, and we're not asking for much, but just a fair shake, and to be able to pay our bills, to be able to have some counseling, and blah 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 blah. I'm hoping it comes, but I'm just asking the public and everybody to kind of just cut us some slack here, man. We're getting our butts kicked, and things happen. Listen, everybody breaks a window in a driveway once in a while. Okay, we're sorry. Nobody likes what happened or what's happening, and we don't like it, but God darn it, they're our brothers and our sisters, and these guys have got tons of fires and rescues under their belts, and that's why I came on today, because we were getting blasted in the press so bad, and I'm tired of it. 35 years on a job, it makes me, it's bullshit, but I wish other people would stick up for our men and women.
Well, here's what, being a member of the press, look, I'm also a member of the press. I know a story. Like a good story. Like, oh my God, they took the fucking fire engine to the bar. Oh my God. I got to do it, dude. I got to, right?
Well, yeah.
But you must know that I just don't pop the one off. I'm like, that's a good one. I can get your attention. It's good wrapping for the box. What's in the box, man? The deeper issues.
Well said.
And that's what I'm trying to do. And look, I know I make some of y'all mad. I'm not your pansy. I'm not your push boy. I'm going to do it. But I know there's bigger things going on. And you do have my utmost respect. And it took a while for me to get that in this.
That was so well said right now, because I hope some of the people out there are smart enough to understand what you just said. That was the wrapping paper of the bullshit. Tear the wrapping paper off and look in the box. That's the big issue. And thank you for bringing attention to it. Please help our men and women. Help us. Get us the stuff we actually need to function for you. That's all we're asking.
We're all Americans here together in Detroit. I consider us brothers and sisters and cousins.
You've done so much for us. Trust me. It's just, I know you don't mean to hurt us, but it just, when we talked.
There's problems in the fire department, period. End of story. right?
Charlie, Mike, can you guys fist bump people? A lot of our listeners thought that Charlie was a little hard on Mike, and I'm trying to tell them you guys
No.
are friends. You have a mutual respect.
No, we've been
This
buddies
is just
a
not
long
candid
time.
conversation. There is no bad blood between you two.
Oh God, no, no. We go way back. We go way back, man.
What? What? Wipe your noses out there.
You know,
Oh,
it's about
Charlie,
time.
they just
It's about
care,
time
that's
somebody
all.
took.
They care. They just care. They care.
And then somebody else, Sheila, a friend of mine, calls me and goes, "You're so mean to Karen."
You're being mean to me,
Mean
Charlie.
to me, Charlie, because
I mean,
if
I'm a
you were
prick.
really mean or ever disrespectful, we would butt heads in a completely different way. You're not either of those things.
I am
that's-
sometimes. We don't have to lie about it. I'm just a human. I'm fallible.
But it's okay for us to disagree. That's where people get all uncomfortable. Like, oh my God, they disagree and they see things differently. That's okay. That's what we're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Well,
I was like this, like if you know, I don't know if you know suburban or metropolitan Detroit people out there across the world on 5 continents. But at one point, Detroit was the blackest city in the United States, and its sister city, Livonia, was the whitest. Right? So they're like worlds apart.
right.
Okay. So I put on Facebook just for some reference for to remind people here when they're making excuses like you want to do. Well, they were in the area. I mean, Melvindale's only 3 miles from the firehouse. I'm like, 3 miles? I'm like, Detroit city limits and Livonia city limits are only 2 miles. And then I'm getting you're sensationalizing it. I'm like, what am I sensationalizing?
Jeez.
I'm trying to let you know 3 miles is a long distance when you're talking fire, is it not?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a long way.
We've been fighting for company, when they close companies and all that. Look, I mean,
Are you
that's
allowed to be in another jurisdiction and run your lights?
negative.
Negative.
You follow the rules and regulations of the road till you hit your city limit, then you pop your lights on and go. Unless you're going through Hamtramck and Highland Park, which is in the center of our city. That's
Okay,
different.
so when you're driving city roads 3 miles at speed limit with traffic lights, it's about 5 minutes, right? Maybe more.
Could be, yeah.
Okay. How fast does a fire accelerate, Mike?
We all know
Nobody knows. Tell them the science.
we all know how fire travels, and
How fast does a fire double?
every minute,
Every-
minute and a half, it doubles.
Every minute and a half, it doubles.
And an emergency gets worse. The heart attack, the stroke, whatever.
Now, is that arithmetically or exponentially?
This is scientifically.
No, like arithmetically, like
Don't be bringing in big words up. I'm just a fireman.
Linear or longitudinal?
longitudinal.
I know the difference between
Is the
I know the
Earth
difference between a
flat?
$5 bill and a $20 bill, and I know that all you can eat fish night is a good deal.
All I know since all the stimulus started hitting the streets, like a $50 bill is a $20 bill.
Now that those Planko fish are American, we're in good shape. We don't need to go look for anything out.
All right, Mike Nevin,
I gotta
Battalion
go.
Chief, Detroit Fire Department. Good to see you, brother. Thank you. Enlightening, man.
There's their hug.
Get in the camera.
Here's the hug, guys. All is well.
Look at his butt. He's fucking nice, bud. You've been working out.
That's a very tight hug.
Take a screenshot so we can have a graphic of that, guys.
Thanks for stopping in, man.
See you later, guys.
Good luck with the divorce, huh?
Yeah, it's going great. A lot of fun.
Mike's a good guy, though, Charlie. I mean, he is. He's always been real. He's always, just always been there to try to do what's best for the department and the men and women of the department and the residents that
lost
they
his
serve.
job
He's always
twice.
been that way.
He lost his job twice and won 2 whistleblower suits. The guy's for real, whether you like him or not. You respect him. Is he gone yet? Fuck that guy. Fucking guy. Oh, hey, man.
You made Eric smile. That's a good thing. He's been staring like, what the
He's
hell
falling
I got
asleep. He's
myself
like,
into?
when's it my turn? Okay, it's right after this, Eric. We're going to have coming in right after this, Eric Starkman, basically the most kick-ass writer about Detroit business, and he's in
LA.
California.
Yeah.
But he is.
Yeah, he really good work.
I mean, somebody, let me run one of these things, man. Not only will it, be hard-hitting, we're going to make you shitloads of money because it's interesting.
Yeah. They're big, tough stories, but man, he does a good job breaking them down.
Dude, they're like, you know what? We talk. Hey, Starkman, what was it again? Don't pretend like you're not there, Eric. What? Startman.
Reports or
What? Okay, tell us, Eric.
Approved.
approved.
Startman approved because he writes about a lot of stuff and he writes for a lot of people. But I read his work on DeadlineDetroit.com, the nice, sassy, pithy local news website. They do a good job with very little. And I recommend that you go to DeadlineDetroit.com, subscribe for $3 a month. Is it $3 a month?
Yep.
It's good too. They take the big, long, boring stories because somehow the people that run the newspapers want you to hang around online. Somehow that they think that turns into money. For advertisers want you hanging around. You know what happens normally?
What?
It's you're reading it, you fall asleep, and you're on that fucking story for 30 minutes. That's what happens.
That's why I like the week, Charlie. It's just like boom,
week.
boom, bullet point. Tell me what happened. Tell me why it happened. I don't need an encyclopedia for every story.
Luke Nowacki, hit it, man. Look now, up and down, up and down, up and down. And like a marina boot camp. Look at the stock market, up and down, up and down, up and down. Interest rate. What do you do? Do I get into metal? What is crypto? Is that for me?
I don't know. Is there
I don't
someone?
know.
Is there someone to call?
You do that every week, like the listeners, the vast listeners from 5 continents.
They wonder.
Don't know who to call. Luke Nowacki. That's, you know how you pronounce that in the old country?
Vaki?
No, Luke Nowacki.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you go. He's an American. What is he like?
Which old country?
Lucas Nowacki. Yeah, where's Nowacki? Polish?
It's got to be, right?
Yeah, why not?
Good enough.
But I tell you what, man, the man knows money. Get a strategy, right? Get someplace in life. Don't hope. I find myself doing this sometimes. That's why I got Luke's number in my phone. You know what that number is? 248-663-4748. Grow your assets, annuities, individual retirement accounts. Should I get in a bond? What's going on? Call Luke. Get a strategy that's tailored to your needs. Let's don't get into one of these funds.
No.
You don't know what's up. Okay. In Hall Financial. Before I tell you about Hall Financial, I'm going to tell you how to call Hall Financial. Do it right now. Somebody do it right now and see if they answer. And then, Karen, are you monitoring the media?
Yes.
We're supposed to have this shit fixed where I can see it. We're having phone lines. I've been promised a vacation to the Alps. None of this is happening.
I don't even have a T-shirt, Charlie. So
T-shirt,
you're okay.
Mark. Are
Just
there
keep going.
T-shirts?
We'll make it work.
No.
Oh, there's T-shirts. There's just no way to buy them.
Okay, here's what we can do. We can have like a street sale.
Okay, like a garage sale?
Yeah, because we got to still raise money to take soil samples for all
right,
the other
yes.
federal money Mike Duggan fucked up. And Washington's afraid to pull the trigger on that shit. That ground's poison, and there's reports that it's poison, so that's accurate. I want to know how poison. I want to sell the T-shirts, take the money, pour it into a story for you, so we can find out how healthy it is for your child. Since we're taking all the COVID money, $840 million, Karen, and we're going to start tearing down commercial abandonment when you fucked up the residential abandonment. Speaking of houses, Hall Financial again, right? Get busy. Get busy. Interest rates are only going up. They're probably going to go up a couple of times, right? If you haven't refied, I don't know who hasn't. Call Hall Financial at 866-CALL-HALL or chat with them online at callhallfirst.com, right?
Yep.
First thing you do.
Yeah, before you go buy a house.
Second thing you do, this is gonna tailor right into Starkman here. There's so much news about the financial underpinnings of the future of this city, not the least of which, we'll get into it, the Wall Street Journal reporting that 30% of all home sales, okay, in the what we call like where Karen lives, like Indian Village,
Yeah.
Boston Edison, the
A very nice neighborhood.
high end.
They call them stable neighbor. They call them stable neighborhoods.
There we go. There was the PC term. Thank you, Karen.
Stable
The
hoods.
stable hoods
Okay.
that the 30% of all homes sold there are to hedge funds,
Yeah.
equity funds, private investors, LLCs, out of town or speculators. Okay?
Large investments.
So look, if you're going to get a house and there's low stock and lots of competition, another thing David Hall will do for you, you got to have your mortgage locked in. You can't be home shopping, want it, and not be able to move on it. Get your pre-approval. All of this at callhallfirst.com or 866-CALL-HALL. There you go, David. That took a lot out of me because it was brain power. I want to explain what's going on. Starkman, what up, doe baby?
How are you?
Good. Let's get right to it, man. You wrote a fantastic column. It was a February 4th. There was a kabuki theater at the train station. Hey, look, we're still not done. Google's in town. It's not gonna be Ford's electric vehicle headquarters. It's gonna be a campus with a coffee shop and a high school class. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. The day before, Jim Farley, the CEO for Ford, talking to company investors, says he can imagine taking Ford electric vehicle future and breaking it off into a new company while leaving Ford internal combustion engine as its own standalone. About right, Eric?
Exactly right.
Didn't get much attention. What does that mean?
So, Charlie, I'll bet you a round of drinks at Simbad's that within a year, Ford will spin off its electric vehicle operations, and they will move the headquarters of that operations either to Tennessee, Texas, or California. And they'll tell you how much they love Detroit, but this is what they got to do. They'll leave the legacy business in Detroit. Private equity firm will come in and probably gut it. And I'm not going to go predicting beyond that. But I think it's pretty obvious that that's where Ford's headed. And they announced, and it's amazing to me that this is a bigger story in Detroit. They announced in November that they're expanding their workforce significantly in India. And just last Friday, after they announced they weren't going to do manufacturing in India, they said, well, we might do electric vehicle manufacturing in India, but for export. So, the writing's on the wall. And I got to tell you, Karen, it was music to my ears when you said to me, what's happened to this town? They don't ask questions. They just, whatever, here's the press release, and everybody goes right to it.
That's true. Glad you noticed, Eric.
Well, what does this mean for? Look, Eric, first of all, you must have a deep and abiding love for Detroit because you keep an eye on the balance sheets, the comings and goings, right? So you're not here to shit on us.
No, I'm actually a really big fan of Detroit. And I think the tragedy of the media and the failure to keep people accountable is what's hurting Michigan and it's hurting Detroit.
Let's remember this too. Okay, so Ford had a big manufacturing campus in India, made an announcement. They're shutting that all down and they're going to expand it for technology and engineering, which is jobs we would do. I've got, let me think here, maybe 5, maybe 7 separate people telling me how they're training their replacement in India in the white collar jobs. It's worth remembering that Ford bought out, laid off, here's some money, get lost, 1,400 white collar workers in 2020 in preparation for this.
For white collars in India.
Divestment in Detroit.
Yeah.
Am I wrong, Eric?
No, you're not wrong. But here's what you got to keep in mind. If I said to you, Charlie, I don't care what you think, how would you take that?
It depends.
So the reason I'm saying
I'd go up to my room.
Jim Farley's on record as saying, I don't care what Detroit thinks. He said that in an interview with the New York Times in 2008 when he was working, for Toyota, and they asked him about one of the models he was working on. He said, people in Detroit were questioning him, and he said, I don't care what Detroit thinks. And I think he's a global executive that's gonna, I expect that Ford's gonna be like IBM. They'll have more employees outside of the United States than within the United States. And, it's music to my ears. I've been reading about the train station and I'm scratching my head thinking, are people really buying this? There's no real commitment here except for a financial commitment. And, Ford's not putting its name on it.
Yeah,
And
give us the sweep here. Okay, so the long abandoned, gorgeous Detroit train station, neo-Gothic, I believe. I don't know, man. Somebody tweet in. I forget the style of it. But Ford committed $750 million and the public committed $250 million to make this thing the new state-of-the-art. Ford's coming down. That's going to be their EV headquarters. 4 years later, we got another press conference, and it's, the public's going to come with another 125, and it's not going to be our EV headquarters, and
But Google's
going to come in and put in some Wi-Fi.
Yeah, they just throw the name Google out.
And have a class for high school kids to learn coding, which computers already do. What is this thing going to be, Eric? Ford won't put its name on it.
I'll tell you why I don't think Ford wants to put its name on it. It's that they're afraid it's going to become a white elephant, and they don't want this big building that had all this big buildup with their name on it as a reminder that it didn't work. So that's my speculation.
I have to believe that was Ford's original plan, and Bill Ford, who is a big booster of Detroit, forget about the Lions for a minute, really did have eyes on that. It looks to me like new decisions were made, talking about splitting the company in two. We now no longer have a use for it, so we're consider it a charitable contribution, Detroit. Is that kind of where we're at with it, in your opinion?
That's what I think. Look, I think Bill Ford is in a really tough spot. I think he really cares about Detroit.
I do too.
And I think he wants to do right by Detroit. But, the public markets, dictate how that company's going to run.
Yeah, it's Wall Street, man, because it's like this. I highly doubt. In fact, I know share price goes up and down. Ford's share price shot up because they're talking EV. It's the big buzzword on Wall Street. But I don't believe we have the infrastructure. We're going to have the infrastructure where the internal combustion engine disappears anytime soon.
But as far as investors go, I mean, that's what they want, though. They want the EV. I mean, look at the valuation of Tesla and Rivian and Lucid.
Exactly.
They're just creeping up on Ford. So it really is a major financial play. What I don't understand is
it's a financial play.
It's a huge, and honestly,
but
this is what sucks. It's kind of the smart thing for Ford to do from a business perspective.
Absolutely.
So where did this state fuck up that Tennessee, and even Eric wrote in his column, the investment Ohio has put in to get new technology? What has this state messed up, Eric?
So that's what people are missing is, Ohio, I read this, the local Columbus paper did a great story about how they got Intel's investing $20 billion into the state, and it could actually increase to $100 billion. And I read how Ohio did it. They've got a real kick-ass team of economic development people. They got a call. Intel was shopping around, and these guys knew how to move on it. And the same thing happened in Tennessee. The governor, Whitmer said it caught her by surprise. But Tennessee, they were expecting these kind of investments years ago. Their governor is an engineer. And, the Wall Street Journal did a great story how Tennessee won that contract. Michigan doesn't have these kind of people. And you don't have that kind of leadership. And, this tax breaks for electric vehicles that Whitmer has just proposed, there's a downside to all that, too, for electric vehicles, that they hurt the roads. And, Michigan, as you know, she promised to fix the damn roads. Well, the roads are going to get a lot worse. The Hummer electric vehicle, the battery of the vehicle alone weighs more than a Honda Civic. And
wow.
You put these, and so the most popular car in America is a Corolla. I think not a Corolla, a Camry. I think it weighs like 3,500 pounds. Like a Hummer is over 9,000 pounds. And you're going to have all these heavy cars and trucks on the roads, and they're going to get worse. And I don't even know if Governor Whitmer is even aware of, the road damage that's caused by electric vehicles. And I'm not clear to me, to be honest with you, and I hope you don't mind me, I'm not trashing Michigan, but I'm not sure if she's playing Michiganders for fools or she's the fool. I just don't know.
It's a great question.
I don't think, or maybe both, which is even more frightening.
And it's okay because you want the big chair. That's what you get. I mean, you want the job. It's a very difficult job, and this is what we do. And we're not stupid either. And end of that story. So let me ask you this, Eric. I mean, you live in L.A., right?
Yeah, I wouldn't look to this state for as an example.
Do you have an electric
leadership?
Do you have an electric vehicle?
I do not.
Do you remember when the notice was put out to people when it was, a balmy summer day and the grid was stressed and they asked people not to charge their vehicles during peak hours?
I do remember that.
So this is California with a balky grid, not as bad as ours, but a balky grid on just a regular old day where people are using air conditioners and you can't charge your car. Do you even think we're ready for this revolution they keep selling us?
Well, that's the reason I'm not buying an electric car.
I can't afford it. Well,
Charlie, by the way, that's something else that people are missing here is, the cost of an electric car is considerably more than, a gas car. And, they're giving rebates to people who are spending $96,000 on a car. That makes no sense to me.
No, the market can't bear it because watch. The federal tax rebate, if you get an electric vehicle, $7,500. Michigan wants to give you $2,500. That's $10,000 off of a car to encourage you to buy a car. That's not market economics. It's just not. It's not there yet. So when I call Luke Nowacki, this is the conversation I have with him. Like, I'm not a short-term investor. I am actually looking at market principles. I'm a trained economist, and I don't quite see it. I'm not shitting on it. It'd be nice to have a cleaner world, but I don't know if I'm gambling my sweat on it.
Well, those automakers, though, they are. I mean, they have a good idea of what this market, the new market coming up and growing up, is going to be.
Sure, Mark.
So they're going to bet on that. Yeah. That's fine. That price better come down. I do agree with you. I kind of go back and forth. I kind of go back and forth on the whole, rebate aspect of it. They tend to go to people that don't need the rebate because they want to buy a $96,000 Tesla or $86,000. You're right. I don't see why they need the rebates for them. I'm just more concerned about keeping some of this. This is what this area was built on. I'd like to see some of that be retained one way or the other. And
I'm going to say, Karen,
I don't know if the leaders can do it.
And I'm sorry, the screen froze. So I'm sorry, Mark. I thought you were done. I just tend to think that the infrastructure, we talk, when the wind blows and the power goes out, and I mean, I just don't think we have the infrastructure for it. So what are we going to do? I mean, do you think it was about a year or so ago when we were having some issues and DTE asked everybody turn off everything and turn down your heat? We need to conserve power. Like how is that progress in the area of transportation when we don't have the ability to fuel these things that they're asking us to get? I agree with Eric. I don't want an electric car. I don't. Or a hybrid. I don't want that either.
So there you have it. I mean, okay, real quick, Eric, I just want to wrap up here, but I want to get to our tubby terrorist and what's going on with him. But let's talk about
body shaming, Charlie.
No, the reason, see, there we go. The reason they let him in was because he was a little overweight and they didn't want him to catch COVID. The first guy in anybody's memory who's on the terror watch list let in is our guy because he was a bit rotund. Eric, talk about quickly the merger of Beaumont and its ramifications as you see them.
Well, I see that as one of the biggest tragedies of Michigan and an example of the poor leadership of the state.
Now, this guy's a downer.
Well,
he's right.
yes, you said it's no bullshit hour. Okay, it's great, man. You're getting a.
That's what I want to hear.
On the state, it's going to be great, man. It's going to be great, man.
It's sunny outside.
They're going to bring the prices down. It's going to be awesome, Charlie. I can't tell you.
Thank you. And with that, no, go ahead, brother.
It'd be best medical care in the world, world class. They're going to fly from all over. That's going to change Michigan. They're going to fly from all over the world.
They are?
Whatever they call that hospital.
Okay. All right, tell us the truth now.
It's
Beaumont merged with
to me.
Spectrum. Beaumont merged with Spectrum. These are the two biggest healthcare outfits in the state, correct?
They are.
And what does this mean for us? It's going to lower our prices.
Well, that's what they say. But if you believe that, then I want to sell you my interest in the Mackinac Bridge.
Elucidate.
I'm aware of no hospital mergers of this size where the prices went down and the quality of care went up. There's all sorts of studies that shows that never happens. So this would be like historical if that in fact happens. And the prices in southeastern Michigan for healthcare are actually among the lowest in the country. So I don't see how they're going to get them any lower, but we'll see. But the fact is, they've known about this merger since June, that they were hoping to put this together. They still don't have anybody to oversee the Beaumont side of the business. My understanding is that they're close, and there could be an announcement real shortly. But that should have all been in place by the time that they got the tentative the approval that the FTC wasn't going to block the merger. So I'm pretty underwhelmed, and I think it's a tragedy that Beaumont was once a world-class institution.
Why, just for us regular people, would two hospital chains want to merge into one?
Well, they're more profitable, but Spectrum has a health insurance side of the business, and they're hoping that by taking over Beaumont, they'll have all these doctors that they can put into their plan and better compete with Blue Cross, Michigan Blue Cross Blue Shield. And there's in hospitals in the healthcare industry, big is good. The bigger you get, the more power you have,
less competition. Right, the more you can raise prices, you have economy of scale, and also I think. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm not an expert on this. But when you talk about the insurance companies, like a Blue Cross, let's say, they're basically called nonprofit, right? And they're only allowed to make like 1% above cost. Yet they have all these ancillary insurance companies for like sort of workers' comp, which aren't capped. Is that correct? Is that where they make their money, on the ancillary stuff?
Well, I don't know where you got the 1%. I thought it was something like 15%.
Okay, well, that's what we're
can
having.
only keep. I'm not 100% sure of the numbers, but they're not nonprofits. And there was just a study that came out yesterday, I think it was, that shows that there's no justification for a hospital declaring itself a nonprofit. In fact, it gives them a competitive advantage against for-profit hospitals, which, believe it or not, give more charitable giving than the nonprofits do. The whole healthcare industry, I don't want to be a downer, Charlie, but it's frightening what these companies get away with.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, I love when it's election year and, you get the empty-headed anchor with his makeup saying, what is your plan for affordable health care? There is no plan for affordable health care. I've got something on my website. Right, Karen?
It does not exist. I'm sorry. It's a vicious cycle. The hospitals overcharge. The insurance companies don't want to pay for anything. I had foot surgery. I got a note from my insurance company to say, hey, you have another insurance company we can ask to help us pay for this? Like, what are you talking about? Auto insurance, all of that. It is not set up to help the people who pay for it at all in any capacity. We'd almost be better being self-insured.
I think it was really educational when you were watching the debates with Biden and Trump. And Biden's plan. He was talking about healthcare for all. And in the end, the catchphrase that I remember was, now it's going to cost a little extra. It's going to cost like $75 billion a year. The point is, these are very powerful entities. You're not going to break them up.
It's too far
And if
gone.
you want to give it to everybody, it's coming out of our pocket. Obamacare did not lower rates. Sure, it got more people covered. A beautiful thing. But that's not how it was sold. It was sold that it was going to bring down medical inflation. There is no answer to this because check out your campaign finance filings. Almost everybody's taking money from these corporations. Right, Eric?
Exactly.
How
And
do
it's
I
on
know
both
so
sides
much?
of the aisle,
How do I
so it
know
doesn't
so
matter.
much?
Because you ask questions.
How do I know so much? Well, here's the deal, Eric. We ask questions, but we also do a lot of goddamn reading. He's talking about reports that are super boring. And the reason I want him on, and this might not be the most fantastic show that you're going to watch, but this guy, this Starkman dude, first of all, he's a very good interview, isn't he?
I think he's a great read. I just wish more people would keep reading him.
Yeah, you go to Deadline to Detroit. That's the best place to go if, because he's doing shit out of L.A. and everything. And
But it's stuff that matters.
we don't give a fuck about L.A.
Do you guys notice that some of the
Stafford
journalists that we talk to that do the best and most in-depth work about Michigan aren't even here? Like Jordan with the Flint story. Now we've got Eric with this. I mean, does that send a signal to anybody?
Yeah, and you know what else? I mean, I got to do a little social media. I just went on Deadline to try. I was reading. There were some comments. Oh, look at this asshole blogger out of L.A. in his underpants. Hey, by the way, check out Starkman's background.
Yeah.
This dude's living fly. Look at this guy. This guy looks like Anthony Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain. Look at that breezeway upstairs. Look at
I love that staircase.
Look, don't you know? Look how clean this guy. His paint matches his hair. I mean, style. It looked like he got a little bit of a mustache, but maybe not. This guy's like what's it? Magnum PI. In Magnum PI of journalism. Look at him.
But it's stuff that really, really matters. Beaumont's a mile from my house. It used to be good. I don't want to go there anymore because of the last two experiences I've had there.
No, you're
and
right.
And now I know why, because he really broke down the whole merger. And what I don't understand is, could anybody have stopped this merger or made it a little more, I don't know, maybe made it a little harder for them, Eric, to just, instead of just combining like this?
Eric doesn't get to talk right now because I want to talk.
I mean, Charlie,
Yeah,
is there
right.
anybody that could have stopped this merger?
Well, Eric tried, but he wasn't trying to stop it. He was trying to inform you, so we here can make our own decisions because no one here has the balls to stand up to this crap, right? It's all a fucking cabal.
There's people in government that need to look at this stuff. And go,
I love these.
no.
I love these business writers, Eric, because you know what? Like, they're harumphing liberals, okay? Harumphing liberals. It just great for the greater good, right? And yet, you're right for the mouthpiece of the capitalists, the crony capitalists, I might add. They put this crap together. You're the arbiter of it. And the thing that you arbitrated for, the thing that you pushed, never comes to fruition. It never benefited the public. So now where do you stand? Am I wrong there, Eric?
Nope.
And he's concise.
The only thing that I would debate with you is whether they're really liberal. I care about healthcare and affordable healthcare, and I don't think the Spectrum and Beaumont merger was a good thing. In answer to your question, they could have stopped it. Dana Nessel could have stopped it. The governor could have put a lot of obstacles in their way. Rashida Tlaib could have done something. In Wayne, they got a shortage of wheelchairs. At least they did recently. And when the hospitals are looking to merge, you can make all sorts of demands. Nobody made any demands. It's pretty sorry to be Mr. Negative.
No, you're good because
Negative, it's true. That's
we're not
negative.
getting any. So we got to hear it, a whole heaping of it. And I'll go back to what you said. This is complicated, and our leaders aren't that smart. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's much easier to say, let everybody out of prison. So, stupid. Instead of like getting down to the nitty gritty of healthcare for 10 million people. It's very complicated. You got to stay up at night. That's what's going on.
But you also have to do things that make sense, Charlie. I mean, people keep doing things without the thought of the implications of those decisions. Is it making a difference? Is it addressing the issue that you're saying it's supposed to address? People never ask, and it doesn't, and we just keep doing it. I mean, nothing that we have in place services what it is or addresses the issue that it's supposed to address. It doesn't.
Yep. So, folks, again, you know, I'm looking for a third way. I'm just looking for a third way. Again, remember last week with Ian, right? Ian Smith.
Yes.
The gym owner from Jersey.
Yep.
And I'm like, he's calling people rhinos, Republicans in name only. I'm like, no, you're the rhino.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't a Republican. You weren't the country club.
But he admitted why.
Because
There's split votes.
yeah, we're you know, if we can take over a party, we'll take. Why didn't they take over the Democrats, the working class white people? Why didn't they?
I don't know. That's a
Why
great
did you
question.
move?
It's a great question.
It's the question, and it's like
Maybe they moved, yeah.
we need we're just dying out here. We're just dying out here, but it's going to be an awesome. You know, I want to be positive. It's going to be an awesome wake.
One thing, Charlie, because I don't want to be perceived as Mr. Negative. I think Michigan's got a lot of potential. I really do. I think it's great people in Michigan, and there's a lot of talent there. You just need some leadership to bring it all together and say, what are we going to do for the future to make this a great state? And I think there's so much potential, but I don't see the leadership emerging.
You know what, Eric? I was in a store once and there was a person that appeared to be either homeless or struggling, and they just broke out in song, had an amazing voice. Here's a person who had talent, had potential, but who did not have the opportunity or, quote unquote, if we want to align this with the city or a state, the leadership to take advantage of that potential. And that's where we are. We can have all the potential. We've been saying that about Detroit for decades. We have the opportunity. We've got potential. We've even got the people here, but it's not channeled in the right way. And so we continue to do nothing more than like walk on a treadmill. We're not going anywhere.
I'm in agreement with you, and I'm in agreement with you about the state of the media. If you don't, if there's nobody to hold government leaders accountable, then this is what you're going to get.
And that's not negative. It's not negative. To be honest, is not negative. I mean, you cannot address a problem that you're not willing to acknowledge that it exists. So that's not being negative.
Breaking news. I am honored, Mr. Starkman. I do accept your nomination as the independent candidate for the governor of Michigan. I promise absolutely nothing. I'll try. I'll read. I'll wash my hands a lot. I'll count the dead people. I will beg Mr. Ford on my knees. Do not leave. There'll be free Band-Aids and T-shirts outside of Beaumont. Thank you.
It's a lot of promises.
Get it done. All right, now we're going to leave you with this.
We're leaving?
Okay, well, I'll do this and then you decide if we leave. I just got to get this bit in, all right? I think the whole audience left. Okay, listen, breaking news.
No, they didn't. They're still here.
Oh, hey, guys. Breaking news. The 8 minority members of the Judiciary Committee, 8 Republicans on the Judiciary's Committee, Subcommittee on Crime, Terrorism, and Homeland Security. Where's my breaking news?
Oh, you want more?
Yes, just keep going. have called for a scheduled hearing to examine national security threats at the border in the wake of reports from here. Yes, keep it going. We'll fix it in post. This is a big deal.
I know. That's why I didn't want to distract.
In the wake of the reporting of the No Bullshit News Hours reportage of Issam Bazi, the Tubby terrorist watch list hit.
Full figured.
We don't know where he is. We don't know if he's lawyered up. The FBI doesn't know where he is. I'm not saying he's a danger at all, but it's the first time in anybody in the security apparatus's recollection that somebody on the terror watch list was allowed to drift across America on his own recognizance. It is now before Congress. Not only that, I can also report breaking news.
Sure cue, Mark.
God damn. Mr. Bazi's case is also being looked into by the Committee of Homeland Security. It's an important story.
Wow,
I suggest that you here in Michigan get on it. Or don't. Because I'm 200. 140. What were we?
It was one in the 120s at one point. Yeah.
Yeah,
one show.
all right. We're beating CNN over here, and you're dying. You know why? Because we love the people. I could even see my way to loving Mr. Bazi if he's got a correct story for me that checks out.
Yeah.
He didn't answer the phone last time, did he? Or did
Oh,
he
there
call when
is
he was
that.
supposed to?
There is that, Karen. He's a little bit
Just-
rude.
Yeah.
Rude.
Be considerate. I don't like people who are late.
How dare
He
that
was.
terrorist be so alleged terrorist?
Alleged
be so rude.
Now you're getting it, Mark. Absolutely nothing's been done. Okay, a little bit.
You know what I mean?
I think Starkman's aged 10 years since he's been on this program. Hey, where do you
He's
live,
trying to figure
Starkman?
out what's going on.
He's Tony Starkman, man. He's like the coolest journalist with the heart of steel. Say, listen, where do you live, man? Like what neighborhood?
West Los Angeles.
West Los Angeles, like by the Fox Studios there?
Yeah, I can walk to the Fox Studios.
So you're like on the other side of the 405, right? You're east of the 405?
Oh, I'm like between the 405 and the 10. I live where the two intersections cross.
Wait, the 10, they cross, they're perpendicular, right?
Right. And
You live
where they
over by
cross,
Brentwood.
I
You
live very
live by
close to it.
where OJ killed
yeah.
Nicole.
Well, no, that was in Brentwood.
In Brentwood over there?
Yeah, I don't live in Brentwood. That's where the rich people live.
Yeah, but it's like 2 miles from you, bro.
Right, it's close, but it's a different world.
Oh, I see. You live by the Veterans Affairs building.
Right, you don't see celebrities in my neighborhood. By the way, you're a beer drinker, right?
Depends who's asking, but yeah.
Allegedly.
They put for 1 second.
Oh,
Okay. I just wanted to show off that I still remember LA like the
know.
back of your
Charlie,
hand.
you know everything. When you talk to, our friend at the border, we know you've been everywhere. You got to send Eric a Coney kit.
So,
Sent him like 100.
are you familiar with this beer? Can you see it?
Heady
Eddie Time, the
Time.
Alchemist.
What's it called?
Eddie Topper. So I was
Heady Cock and Toastin'?
at my neighborhood bar, and the bartender told me about this drink.
Wait a
He
minute.
lined up
Wait a
for
minute.
it.
Wait a minute. The bartender brought you that drink in your glasses, and then OJ cut your head off. It's be better than story that way, but he lived. He got better. What? OJ did it. Everybody's cool with that now. I mean,
Yeah, of course he did.
but you were saying, bro, yeah. So Heady.
So it's a beer they line up for. It's made in Vermont, and it's got this cult following. And being Canadian, I hate to admit this, but this is the best beer I ever had. It's 8% alcohol.
What is it called?
It's called Heady Topper. It's very hard to get, but if you ever stumble on it, I highly recommend it.
Stumble
I thought you
over.
were going to tell Charlie, hey, how do you like this beer? I'm going to send you some. You're just taunting him, telling him you got a good beer that he can't get.
You want to know? I know.
It's
Can't
Starkman
even
approved.
get it in LA.
Starkman approved. Starkman approved. He's got some stock in this motherfucker.
Exactly.
He's product placing. You know how I know Starkman's from Windsor?
How's that?
Because the can's empty. Are you from Windsor?
Oh, I'm from Toronto.
Ew.
Close enough.
He's out in the beat. Hey, listen, man. You got working papers?
I do. I'm a U.S. citizen.
How the fuck does this happen? Are you on the terror watch list?
I am not.
Okay, Mr. Canadian, how do you account for Ted Cruz, another Canadian?
I think that somebody that Canadians have to apologize is, oh God, I'm blanking our name. Your former governor, the energy
Jennifer
secretary.
Granholm.
Jennifer Granholm.
But you have Drake though, Eric, so that kind of wipes out all of the ills that come out of Canada.
I don't get the Drake thing. He's milquetoast.
Yeah, I don't get him.
I mean, it almost sounds like Dre.
I can't stand him.
Here we go.
I can't stand him.
I bet he wears perfume.
I think I'll go with that's the best description of him. He looks like he wears perfume.
He does. Okay, and this is a Drake tune, isn't it?
Close enough.
I would have no idea. All right, I love you about it. Hey, Starkman, thank you, man, and thanks for looking out for us.
Yep. It's great being honored to be on the show.
You sure fucking right it is.
It's borderline honor abuse, but it's a good balance.
Speaking of
You
borderline,
guys are
get your
doing good
ass
work
north,
for the
man.
city and the state.
Hey, listen, we're gonna send you a Coney kid, all right, brother?
Right.
And some beer.
Right.
Can't afford any beer. You know what's weird about this?
What?
He's keeping an empty can in there.
He probably just emptied it.
Did you just empty it?
It's my last one.
What do you got, a beer can collection, or what did you do? Where'd you get that can?
Went to the fridge and I got it.
He keeps empty beer cans.
It's
in
not
his fridge.
empty. It's still full. It hasn't been
Well,
open.
open it up, bro. L'chaim, let's go.
He's got to save it, Charlie.
Oh, fuck.
Ordered
You
it
went and
12.
looked at the clock. Hurry up, man. Let's go.
I don't drink before noon.
Come on, pop it. It's noon here. Let's go.
Well, afternoon now.
He's got 20. No, he's got 20 minutes. And then it's
I
noon.
never
It's 20
had it. Come
minutes
on, man.
and
Hurry up. We got to go. Let's go. Pop that thing.
I'm not gonna pop it.
God, what an anal.
How do we know if it's Starkman approved or not? Now
Yeah, let's see if
that
it's
could all be a
Starkman
gig.
approved. Because he doesn't drink beer. He's
Yeah, it
posing.
could all be fake.
Don't give in to public
He just wants
pressure,
to be
Eric.
cool. He wants to come on the
Hold
no
on to your
bullshit
can.
out.
I've been saving this, man. I
I'm saving
my
it.
last one.
Okay, go get your bong. All right, then we'll
No
talk
comment
to you.
there.
Karen, love you, man. Bye, Karen.
Yes.
Goodbye, Gary.
Listen, with all these TV appearances and newspaper appearances, can you push the show a little bit? I really.
Everybody says that I'm from the No BS News Hour.
No,
I
meant something
I don't know
like
what
this.
else to say.
Here's what you say.
Okay.
Karen, what do you make of that? You go, well, as we like to say in the No Bullshit News Hour, or you're like.
That's
The
cheesy,
research
Charlie.
shows
Everybody knows
available
about it,
on the
but that's
website,
cool. We'll make sure they do.
nobsnewshour.com.
They know.
What?
They know. You can't be cheesy. They know.
Yeah, but I wanna start beating like Sean Hannity.
Yeah, we want to get in the top 100.
One hundo
Okay, that's our goal.
out of the
Got
lower
it.
level.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that, my friends, was your news. Thanks to Mike Nevin
He's great.
and Eric Starkman.
Another great one.
All right. Peace.